Hi there, welcome to the Gardens and Graveyards channel. My name is Charisma and today we're meeting on the front porch and we are going to plant up our rail baskets and our hanging baskets for the summer. Every year I plant something different in these baskets, and last year I began using grow bags as the liners, which I love because I can, if there's ever any problems with the plants, a disease or a fungus or something like that, I can remove all the soil and the plants and everything, throw them in my washing machine and sterilize them, and I don't have to buy new ones. I've grown in grow bags for a couple of years, not in rail baskets, but just in general. They definitely hold up longer than a coconut core liner. The birds can't take pieces of it for their nesting, and they just look really clean from a distance, right off the bat. Of course, it is a much more modern, sleek look than the coconut core, which gives it a much more like homespun country feel. But I'm really loving them, and because I live on the Oregon coast in a Zone 9A and we live in a very temperate climate, having black liners really helps my soil get warm enough and stay warm enough to activate any slow release fertilizer that I put in there so that my plants can uptake that food in the summertime, right? What else do I want to say? I'm going to go ahead and prep all of my rail baskets, and I probably won't show much. I'm also going to prep and plant one hanging basket, and then I will go like step by step with one basket with you, and then just show you all the plants that we're going to put in each of the rail baskets and show you at the end, because filming these rail baskets is really hard because they're hanging off of these rails, which I could put the camera way over there, but this is on the second story, so I can't just put the camera on the other side of the deck so you could watch what's happening. Anyway, so the angles are kind of weird, and they all get done up the same, but I'm gonna turn the camera around. I'm gonna show you what plants we're working with, because if you've been watching this channel this year at all, you probably know that I'm doing something a little bit different with my annuals this year. Every year I pick a theme and I usually roll it out, and everybody is cohesive. Last year was strawberry lemonade, so all my annuals were pink and yellow. Front yard, backyard, everywhere except for the moon garden, which primarily stays black and white. But this year I wanted to do something a little bit different because I went to Mexico in February. My husband and I are planning a trip to Hawaii. My family and I want to go to Disneyland. So it's just like, I just wanted to be inspired and start manifesting those trips with my family and just get in the mood to have all those hot tropical colors all around me. So every pot and every basket and every place that an annual is going, they're all different colors. So think orange, yellow, red, hot pink, purple, like electric purple, all the colors that are just like super hot, bright colors, and nothing like actually matches, which is like really hard to do, actually, to purposely not match things. But we're having fun with it, and I want to show you what we're working with today. So I brought these all out of the greenhouse. So these are all the plants that we're going to be working with today. And I have a little collection of Zinnia Unicorn from Florette that I grew from seed. And we have some Creeping Jenny in a little pot that we will divide and share among the rail baskets. And then I've got some nasturtium that are just like highlighter orange, just like intense orange. And then I have this Hoopla Vivid Orchid Super Tunia from Proven Winners. And you can see some of them have like a really wide white margin. Some of them have a more narrow white margin. And these are kind of the only thing that are going to match is one, the hanging baskets are going to get one of these each. And then we have a whole mix of nasturtiums that are not blooming yet, but they are yellow and orange. And then I have a collection of assorted snapdragons, so they're just like a whole bunch of different colors. And then the main plants in the rail baskets, we are going to have these sun patience, which, let's see if I can find a tag. This one is a deep rose, so kind of like a hot pink, really. It's starting to come out right here. And then the middle one's going to have this intense variegated foliage. And this one, I think, gets a red flower. And then this one is also a red flower. So, is this a red flower or orange? Oh, this says rose also, so maybe it's like a pinky red. But it's gonna be, they're gonna be about 5-6 feet apart. This one will have the different color foliage, so they'll look different enough with the pink, the bright yellow, the red. And then with these, I don't want to do yellow and yellow, right? So with the pink, I'm doing the yellow mini vista. And then with the variegated, I'm going to do this, what is it, plum vein? Super Tunia Mini Vista plum veined, which is just this deep, bright purple. And then with the red, is this going to be, no, maybe we need to switch these up. Because now that they're both blooming, this is very similar colors. Even though this is a Mini Vista Scarlet. So let's just switch this up. I don't want anything to match. So we're just gonna go with that. And even if this is a more red color flower, the foliage will be contrasting it up. So, and then in these baskets, we will be putting the mix of zinnias and snapdragons and nasturtiums, and then everybody's gonna get a little bit of creeping Jenny just to create a little bit of cohesiveness. So these are the rail baskets. They're just attached to the top of our rail, and right here, the tools out of the way, I've got these basket liners, and so they just sit in here like this, and then I just fill the bottom like 3 inches with compost, and then the rest of it with fresh soil. And then I will put a little bit of slow release annual fertilizer. I use this premium continuous release plant food from Proven Winners, and it is heat activated. So I just put that in the soil with the plants, and then water them all in. And then weekly on Fridays, we fertilize with the premium water soluble plant food, which we just mix in with water and hand water all of our annuals with that once a week. Technically, you could water every 3 days or every third watering with this food, but I find that once a week is plenty enough for us. Our watering is kind of sporadic because in the summertime we have to water every day, sometimes twice a day, especially these rail baskets. And then on the shoulder season, like right now, June and September, we might only water them like every 3 days or something. So then they'd only, if that was, oh, it's gusty. If that was true, we only watered them every 3 days, then we'd only be fertilizing them like once a month. So that's not really helpful. So we just give them a little, even if we've watered that even if we've watered already, like maybe the day before, I just at least splash some fertilizer on all the annuals to make sure that they have plenty of food to flower, because that's why we have them, so that they flower prolifically. So I'm just gonna get everything prepped, and then we will go in a little bit more detail together. I just kind of tip them with their root balls in towards the inside of the container. You'll see a little bit better with these. So this one's just gonna go straight in. I'll just make a little room for it. And this one, because I want to encourage it to trail, I'm gonna tip the root ball in and butt it up against the root ball of the sun patient. And then I'll just add soil on top. We just tuck it in there. And we just make sure that there's soil all around the root ball. And we just do the same thing on that side. All right, exciting. So we just have this basket left to do, and I've already put about 3 inches of compost on the bottom. And now I'm gonna fill the rest with soil. This is a new grow bag, so they're not shaped to the basket just yet. So we just kind of press the edges up and kind of create that shape in the basket. I did buy basket liners that are one size too big, so these are 14-inch containers. I bought 16-inch grow bags, and I think that's okay because, I mean, they're only going over by like an inch here and there, and I'd rather that than too short, because I bought these grow bags according to the size of the form, and they're a little short, so I don't love that. I'd rather let the plants cover the 2 inches or 1 inch of material than be too short. So next time I'll get bigger ones for that, but for right now they're fine. You won't notice the gaps once the plants are all filled in. All right, so now that I've got my soil filled up there, and I'm just using raised bed and potting mix. It's a good container mix that I get at my local feed store. And then, of course, the slow release Turbo Winners annual plant food. And then we have our collection of plants. So the first one that we're going to put in is this Super Tunia Hoopla Vivid Orchid, which I've grown this plant before, loved it. It really shines in the garden. And I'm putting this one right in the middle because I know she's just going to get nice and big. Wet. Okay, I'm just gonna tuck her in there really good. Okay, then I've got 2 of the buttercream nasturtiums left. Just gonna go opposites like that. And I've got 2 of the nasturtium jewel mix, which are these bright orange and bright yellows. Just gonna kind of clean these up. These ones I winter sowed. You could see they're in their milk jug still. And the other ones I did in the greenhouse, so both did pretty well. All right, so I'm just gonna go opposite. So we have 4 nasturtiums ringing this basket. And then I have 1 of the zinnia unicorns, and this was a zinnia from Florette Farms. And I'm just gonna go in between nasturtiums. And I have 1 of the giant binary zinnias, and we're gonna go opposite in between nasturtiums. And then I have 2 of the assorted mix snapdragons. Oh, the wind today. And so I've got a zinnia here, so I'm just gonna go in between the nasturtiums like this, and opposite over here. Yep. Okay. So I have a nasturtium, a snapdragon, a nasturtium, a zinnia, nasturtium, snapdragon, nasturtium, zinnia. Is that right? Yeah. And then I also have 3 clumps of the creeping jenny, but I'm gonna get these planted in first, and then we'll kind of sort those out. Let's see. We'll do the jewel mix first, because they've got a pretty good root ball, and their stems can be buried a little bit, so and they'll grow more roots. So I'm just kind of nesting them in the soil here. Giant root ball. Put that down in there. Sure has plenty of. Now I want to put in my creeping jennies, and I'm really just gonna pick 3 spaces to put them. Just kind of evenly space them out around the container. And then the last thing I'll do is add some compost. Trying to make sure my containers don't fly away. So then I've just got some compost here, and I'm just top dressing the whole thing with a little bit of compost to help retain moisture, to make it look prettier. Mostly it helps retain moisture because you can't see the tops of these once they're hanging up. All right, now I've got new chains because my chains were all rusty last year, so I bought new hanging chains. And just gonna tangle them. Okay. So they just have little clips, and I just select my first place, and then I just count. There's let's see, there's one with like a little fleur-de-lis, and then there's one without, so I put it on one without, and then I just count 2 and put the next one, because there's 6. So 1, 2, good and tight. Sure that they're hanging nicely. 1, 2. Take this one is gonna go. I turned them all throughout the season so that they grow out evenly. But today we'll put the orange nasturtiums facing each other. This looks a little pale. Okay. Great. So I just gotta pick up my mess. And then I can water them in. Before I water them in and make all the plants flat, I just wanted to kind of walk down the line and show you what they look like. So we just went through these baskets together and they're the same. Two zinnias, 2 snapdragons, 4 nasturtiums, 2 different kinds, 3 creeping jennies, and a hoopla vivid orchid, super tunia. And then in this first container, I have 2 snapdragons, 3 zinnias. Like I mentioned before, we had some slug issues in the greenhouse, so as the season goes, I'll just remove the damaged leaves and they'll be fine. They'll look beautiful. Okay, so then I have 4 nasturtiums, 2 on each side, 2 creeping jennies, 1 on each side, and then this one has the Mini Vista plum veined, and this one has the Sun Patient, really red or something like that, and then there's 2, so 3, yeah, so 1, 2, 3 zinnias and 2 snapdragons. This one, same nasturtiums and creeping jennies, a Mini Vista, a Sun Patient. This one also has 2 snapdragons and 3 zinnias. And this is the same with 3 zinnias, 2 snapdragons, the trailers, Mini Vista yellow, and a Sun Patient rose. This snapdragon is kind of curved this way, so I planted it so that it'll reach for the sun this direction and it'll right itself. And then this hanging basket's the same. I'm gonna go down there so you could see what it looks like from the street view. I should also mention that I save my tags, sometimes a little bit more organized than others. I like to put a hole punch in them and put them on a key ring or a big like jump ring, so that each year I have all the tags from the annual, so I can reflect back and remember what did well and what were planted together. All right, let's go out to the street. And there they are. Just instant impact having that little bit of color up there. I do need to take that little bit of limb off of that eucalyptus so you could see that basket back there, but in no time at all, those trailers will spill over and it'll be even more impactful than it is today. Now I need to water them because they're all wilty. That's gonna be it for today's video. I have one more Proven Winner annual project, I guess, to do. And that's going to be what we call our estate garden, but it's just the corner of our property where the roads meet. And we have a trio of Super Tunia Vistas and some grasses to put in over there that we will share with you in a video soon, because everybody is ready to get planted. I am gonna wait for the sun to go down. It's baking hot in that corner all day long. So it's probably like the sunniest place of our entire garden. But I'm gonna wait to plant those in a little while, but I will share that with you when we do plant them. And then outside of that, we have a bunch of tomatoes and a bunch of snapdragons to plant out. And then I've got to get to my table of perennials and shrubs, because they have been neglected because I have so many annuals to plant right now. But we're really at the tail end of annual planting. I also have some geraniums that need to go out, which are temperennials for us. Yeah, anyway, thanks for hanging out with me while I potted up our porch baskets today. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you were inspired, and I hope that you're celebrating your life, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.